Alright, so good afternoon everyone. Today I'm going to be messing around with my sugarcane. As you can see, I gotta clean this mess up. It's a lot of dead leaves. I have, cleaned them with my hands before, but I'm going to use a glove just because I'm just going to be grabbing and throwing stuff to the side. A couple things I want to mention about sugarcane. If you look at the leaves, on the edges, it's sort of serrated. So I don't want to say like a saw, but it's very small, very fine little spike things that come out of it. I mean, you can't really tell, but if you run your hand one way, it's like no big deal, or your finger. But if you run it the other way, you can see how like my finger sort of gets stuck to it. If you were to go fast enough, or you're to run by them and I don't say graze them, but pretty much rub up against them, you could cut yourself. It'll be like a paper cut. So that's just something to watch out for. Let's see really quick over here on this side. You can see how the sugarcane goes, right here, starts off pretty small and it's pretty much leaning or pretty much falling to one side. The cool thing about sugarcane is that it sort of tells you its growing conditions or how it's doing. So let me get rid of this real quick. All right, so at the very bottom, here we go, you'll see how it's pretty thin. It's really small. So it could have been, lack of water or maybe lack of sunlight. So it's trying to grow super quick to go up to get some sunlight. But then as you can see, it did get somewhat thicker. Not that much, but it does cause some weight and it's leaning. So I'm gonna end up chopping that one down. Over here on this side, let's see. Let me look at, here we go. This is not that bad. Still pretty small, but see how it's so big? So maybe it was focusing on growing, trying to get towards the sunlight. Maybe got a lot of water. I don't know. But they do get thicker. Let's see. Big ol' mess. Alright. Then over here, something, it's a bit different. At the bottom, you see how this is, a fairly decent size. They do get slightly bigger, or they can, but this is fairly decent size. But then as you go up, I don't know what they call it, segments or little nodes. You see how they're very small. So something happened. Maybe lack of water or not enough sunlight, I don't know. But when things are going good, then you'll get them big and thick. When not so good, they'll be small and they can be long. So it could have been the change of the seasons. I don't know, but in the summer they should be thriving. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take care of this, I don't want to call it a mess, but all these leaves that are sticking out, because it is where I walk by. So I want to get them out of the way, and then I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance. I'm just going to clean up all this mess or clear it up, and that's what I'm going to do next. So let me prop this up real quick. All right, that looks good. So the thing that I like to use is this knife. I think it's like a red cutter or something, simply because it has the jagged or serrated, I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's not smooth, it's bumpy, sort of like a saw. And you'll see, I'm just gonna chop right through the leaves. And that's it. Pretty quick, pretty simple. I mean, quick knife. You don't gotta use the pruning shears or anything for gardening. I mean, I use this knife for gardening, but it's, you know, I guess you could say meant for the kitchen. The next thing I'm going to do is show you how I like to take the sugarcanes out. So the first method, it's pretty obvious. Let me do it to this one real quick. I just grab it, lean it, until it breaks. But as you can see, let me tilt it. It's not a clean cut, you know, but it does work. So no big deal. The next one is I like to use this tool. I don't know what it's called, but it's for plumbing, meaning for the, oh, I have some right here. Hold on. There we go. It's for the cutting PVC pipe. I just, you know, put it in here, start squeezing, and eventually it'll cut it. So I'm gonna leave that there. And let's do this. So, all right. I want to cut this one right here. The cool thing about this tool is that it will allow me to get it as far from the ground as I'm able to, or, you know, as I would want to. So there you go. You can see the bottom. Grab my, you know, tool, whatever you want to call it. Well, I don't know its name, but as you squeeze, it tightens it. That's it. Just push the button, it opens back up. So now it has a clean cut. This thing has a clean cut. And there it is. So pretty easy, pretty simple. If you have any questions on sugarcane or anything like that, let me know. But I just remembered there's a couple different varieties of sugarcane. If you notice on this side, let me just peel it off. Oh, here we go. You'll see that it's green. But then this variety on this side, this one's like a brown color. I don't want to say red, but you know, it is a different variety. And it's hard to tell sometimes because it does sometimes have a little bit of green on it. The only reason I'm able to tell is because when I plant them, I planted the red one on the left, or brown, I don't know what color it is, and the green one on this side. But there are different varieties. I can't really taste the difference between them. They're, you know, they're both sweet. But I mean, you can look for them online if, you know, it catches your attention. You know, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks everyone.